So yesterday I started recording a video on how to use templates in Logseq, and I realized when I was doing the video that a big part of my workflow when using templates is using properties. The way that I think about properties is I think about them as metadata. As you would use attributes in Rome, I would use properties in Logseq. So I think the best way to get into this is just to dive into some examples. I'm going to start a block for the book Mindset, and shift enter keeps me in that same block, and then let me start by using the less than key for which opens up this menu, and then I can choose properties. So Mindset is a book, so let me just say type, author, and rating just quickly. Now type, it's in books, the author is Carol Dweck. I'm not going to put that in square brackets, and the rating is 1 out of 10. No, let's say 9 out of 10. Okay, enter. An interesting thing has just happened here where I can see that I've got some which are linked and some which are not. So one of the things that properties does, it looks if you have a page for that specific property in your database, and if it does, it creates that link. So I have one here for books and I have one for 9 out of 10, but I don't have one for Carol Dweck. So when I think of authors, I actually find it safer just to add square brackets here. And that way it will always create the link. Now thinking of another book, let's call it Grit, all the self-help books. If I want to do properties again, less than key, and then properties, and then again type, books, and if I say author is Angela Duckworth, and rating, let's choose one that I don't have, probably 7 out of 10. There. So you can see that I don't have a rating of 7 out of 10 in my database, so it has created a dead link for that. So if I just add square brackets around this, if I highlight that and push open square brackets, it automatically does that. So, oh no, 7 out of 10. Great, so then I have metadata for these two books, but I don't really want to do that over and over again. So what I do is I create a template. Let me copy this again. I'm going to less than key, properties, and then type, remember shift enter there, author and rating, and then there, that is my block that is repeatable. And then if I right click on that dot over there and I say make templates, what is the template's names? Book info. Submit. So now that is a template, and you can see here it's added that template as a separate property. So even templates themselves are a property. Another thing to be aware of is that there's specific types of properties. So for instance, tags are another type of property, which gives you a really nice feature that you don't have to have the pages there existing in your database already for it to create them. So for instance, if I wanted to just create a whole bunch of tags for a book, let's talk self-help, nonsense, great. And what I'm doing here is I'm just using commas, and the tags property will generate those pages. There we go. So didn't have to have them in my database really. So the other thing about tags is it allows me to enter multiple values for one specific key. So the type won't allow me to do that. So if I say books, articles, it doesn't give me that option. Okay, so that's briefly an introduction to properties. I hope that gives a little bit of insight. Now, looking at templates specifically, you'll see here that this one is just hosted or just located in my ordinary journal. I don't like doing it like that. I have all my templates in a specific page called templates, and this allows me to manage them, and if there's any issues, which there sometimes are, to find them all and then troubleshoot. One time, for instance, I had to just go through it template by template and delete because for some reason my accessing of the shortcuts was blocked, or well, I'd obviously made an error in my database. So that's just one way of troubleshooting. Another helpful hint is just to refresh your database often and unlink it if necessary, but that's a topic for another video. So for the rest of this video, I've jumped into the desktop application. It's a little bit more stable than the web application because it doesn't get updated when there's new releases. So some of the things which I've done previously have changed, and I see that some bugs have been reported. So this is a good place to work for now. Looking at templates, I want to start with my morning pages, which is also a template. So if I enter / and then templates, it brings up my menu of templates that I've created, and then I can go to morning pages. And you can see here that I haven't used properties in the morning pages template. Why is that? I think of properties as just simple values, or like, you know, as I said, metadata. And if I want to write something underneath gratitude, I don't want it to be metadata. So here I can just say, thanks to the Logseq team for continual updates, whatever. Now, if that was in a property, it would mess it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go through some of my templates one by one so that you can maybe get some ideas about how you want to do this. So looking at the two free text ones, it's morning pages, and the other one that I've got is meeting notes. Oopsie, templates and meeting notes. There we go. And again, you can see what is the topic of the meeting. So I can just say discussing new management strategies or whatever. And then participants, Mark, John, Jane, and then important points. And here I might like nest it underneath. Again, there's no real like right way to do it, but point I, personal preference, point B, and then to-dos, I can say personal and other. So here, if I actually use this, I will change that to personal there, just so that it is queryable later. The reason that I didn't do it like that in the template itself is because then it will query to my homepage, which I've shown in another video. So yeah, that's just how I do it. And then when looking at content, I've got a whole bunch of different templates to bring in. So if I start with my articles, this is, if I escape that, just bringing in some tags, the date, the author, and the link, and then a basic description of what the article was about, and then any major takeaways. And that just makes me think a little bit about what I'm reading, and yeah, so that I'm processing it and not just being a consumer. Now, the other ones that I have are exactly the same. So video notes, it's basically the exact same, except it's got already pre-built that type over there, which is videos. As for the articles, the type is pre-built over there. And similarly, if I go to templates and podcasts, that's already also pre-built in much the same way. So now an interesting thing, I don't have a page for podcasts already. Let me just add that here. You can see this is my my demonstration database, so it doesn't have everything built as smoothly. But if I now go here and I say, and I just re-entered the block and then exited again, escape, and it's created that link over there. So those are the content consumption ones, and then I also have my templates for tags, which allows me to add those tags quickly, and history, geography, sociology, just for example again, and it creates those very, very quickly. So if I've, got entered another block and I haven't used a template for whatever reason, then I can just use my tags templates to quickly add the metadata that makes it very easily queryable later. Okay, and the last two are just the book summary ones. Let me just quickly enter those for your reference. So book summary, again, very simple. And then a nice one that I like to use but haven't used nearly enough is my book review. And that just, a lot of information over there. That just asks a whole bunch of questions about the book that makes me think about it critically, and hopefully you remember a little bit more of the information. So summarize the book in 3 sentences. Why did I read the book? Was it recommended to me? Was I trying to be clever? This is an important thing which I've realized, that one mustn't read books to try and be clever. How did the reading go? Will I take anything away from it permanently? Our top 3 quotes. Would I recommend this book wholeheartedly to these people? And where can I find the blog post equivalent? Because I think this is like a nice exercise. Lots of books could be very easily summarized into blog posts. So what I've done is I've published my templates to GitHub for those of you who want to access them or just want inspiration. Because when I was looking around, this was something I would have liked. And yeah, I'm by no means a coder, so don't judge my GitHub. It is just a way that I could share this very easily with you. So if you want to get this, then you can just go to GitHub. I'll share the link in the video description. And then if you edit this file, it will show you the markdown, and then you can copy this, and let me actually go through the steps here. Copy this and then go to Notepad or some editing tool. And then I open up Notepad, and then I've got all that there, and I can say file, save as, and if I just say this as templates.md, then I can copy this file and paste it into my pages, and you'll have all of these templates ready to go. So if you do that, please bear in mind that there may be some challenges when you're importing it and when you try and use it, particularly in the web app. As I said, I had some frustrating times last night trying to figure out what was going wrong, but it was just moving things from my old database to a new database, and it didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would, and just a warning that might happen. So it's always good to build these things up yourself, use the properties, build templates, and definitely build a templates page. I think that's a very good suggestion. Cool, let me know what you thought about the video. Hope it helped.